This Torah class is brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.
Okay, good Erev Shabbos, everyone. Shalom Aleichem. We're continuing in Pirkei Avos with the commentary of Rabbeinu Yona. And we're up to Perek Beis Mishnah Zayin. We're continuing the teachings of Hillel. And Hu Haya Omer. Hillel would say, Marbe Basar, Marbe Rima. One who increases meat, increases worms. The more you eat, the more you feed the worms. Marbe Nechasim, the more possessions you have. Marbe Da'aga, the more worries you have. Marbe Nashim, the more women. Marbe Cheshafim, the more witchcraft. Marbe Shvachais, the more maidservants. Marbe Zima, the more lewdness. Marbe Avadim, Marbe Gazel. The more slaves, the more stealing. Says Rabbeinu Yona, Ha'adam Choshev, a person thinks, Ki al yedei hatainug v'ha'idon, that by delighting and enjoying, Chayim Yosef, it will add on to one's life. The more I indulge in the pleasures of this world, the longer I'll live. Ki yanig atzmai al pi hateva, because this person is conducting himself al pi teva, naturally, but it's not true. Ve'ein shilton b'yom hamaves. There's no dominion on the day of death. There's no sovereignty. There's no power. Lo la'ezer v'lo lahayol yiyeh alei habasarhu. All of your indulgence will not help a person. Ki laboishes v'gam larima. It will just be a source of shame and food for the worms. Now, marbe nechasim marbe daga. Al yachshev, a person should not think, ki al oshroi v'roiv nechasav, yivala yemoisav batoiv u'shnoisav banimim. Person shouldn't think, I'll enjoy life by enjoying my money, my property, my possessions, because there is no such thing as having a enjoyable life spent on enjoying the physical, because he'll be worried about them the whole year. Ask any wise person and they'll tell you. Ask any wealthy person and they'll say to you that physical possessions are a source of stress. Marbe avadim, marbe gazel. One who increases slaves, increases robbery. Marbe shvachais, marbe zima. One who increases maidservants, increases lewdness. Marbe nashim, marbe kshafim. One who increases women, increases witchcraft. What does this mean? It says Rabbeinu Yona, shloisha dvar halalu acherim oisin oisam. There are three things over here that others may be doing the wrong. You're not stealing, it's your avadim. You're not committing adultery, it's your shvachais. You're not committing witchcraft, it's your women. No, these three things other people do, umala olav akasik ilu asam, and the Torah will consider as if you did it. V'chiyigzu avadim ashaloi. If your servants steal, hu like aleim, you'll be punished for them. Ki yesh biyadim nayaisam. You have the ability to prevent them from doing so. Av ki eno yodea. Even if you don't know they're doing it, you should have prevented them. Hadavar alav mushlach. The responsibility is on you. Ki chasvu zavayim. You own them. Gam ki hashvachas mizanis achirim. Even if maidservants are having relations with others, hadavar alav. It's on your shoulders. Ki lehuva atzmim mizaniman. It's like you were living. It's like you were having adultery. Ki nevala nesa bebeisai. This abomination was done in your house. Gam bervois hanoshim. Likewise, if you have many women, they're all involved in the various superstitious practices to gain your love. The more hated one, she'll double down on her superstitious activities until she turns your heart to her. And then the co-wife will get angry. and they'll be so involved in this superstitious behavior. Will be on your shoulders. Kihu avain plili, it's a terrible sin. Shenemar mechashefa loisachaya. But the Mishnah continues that while this is true with physical possessions, in the world of the spirit, this is not necessarily the case. It's not the case. Marbe Torah marbe chayim. The more you learn, the more you live. Zeh hadavar keneged ma she'amar. This is in response to what it says, marbe basar marbe rima. Sha'al yedei hatainug yiskatzru yamav. The more a person gives into pleasures, his life is shortened. Va'al yedei amal haTorah ya'arichun yamav. By working in Torah, it lengthens your day, right? It sounds counterintuitive. You would think a guy who devotes time for the good life, to indulge in food, in pleasures, in vacations, you would think that person would live longer. And the person that's, so to speak, toiling in Torah, depriving himself of certain comforts and toiling, you would think he has stress in his life and his life will be shorter. No, just the opposite. Furthermore, this is in contrast to, even though the more possessions you have, the more worry you have. You think if you have 2 homes, you'll have a better life. You'll have double the worry. You'll have double the problems. Now you have 2 places to worry about leaks. Worry about assets shortens your life. V'dagas ha-Torah. But worry about Torah. Let's say you're worried. I don't understand this. I have to get up for a shiur. I have to understand the material. I have to abide by it. Torah is a worry. Let's say a person has a seder. I have to keep up with it. I have to make sure I don't fall behind. I have to understand it clearly. Stress, there's no question, stress lowers a person's lifespan. That's physical stress. If you're worried about spirituality, it lengthens your life. V'dagas ha-Torah. Worry about Torah. Av kihi da'aga gadol. It's a big worry. La mevin, to someone who understands. Kasher yachshe b'halacha. If you think about halacha, ad yomer davar alafnav, to be able to understand and explain it clearly. That worry cannot harm you. Even though there's a common refrain, hayaga and sorrow, choli halev, is the illness of the heart. Hada'aga, worry, kilois halev, is the yearning of the heart. Even though basically stress and worry hurts a person, harms a person, kills a person. Ach doyeg ba Torah, worry in Torah. Oirech yamim ushnois chayim v'shalom yosifulai. Long life, years of life and peace will be added to him. V'alzeh amar Shlomo HaMelech, and on this Shlomo HaMelech says, Olav HaShalom, Yiras Hashem toisif yamim. The fear of God will add to his days. Ushnois rishaim tiktsarna. But the years of the wicked will be shortened. So it's sort of counterintuitive, but it's supernatural. I'm worried, am I going to make it, I'm going to get up in time for the Zman Kriya Shema? So you set an extra alarm, you ask someone to wake you up. Keeping halacha, learning Torah, being active in ruchnias, it's a pressure, it's a worry, it's an anxiety, but this kind of stress lengthens your life. Marbe yeshiva, marbe chachma. One who increases in his learning, increases wisdom. Ratzaloymar. Chachmas hasvar v'hapilpol. The wisdom of Torah logic. Shal yidei zehu marbe yeshiva. The way Rabbeinu Yona learns it is, the more he has the opposite gersa. Not the more you sit and learn, the more wisdom you have. The more wisdom you have, the greater will be your yeshiva. Ki avayu ha-talmidim l'shmaya dvarim chadashim. The talmidim will come to hear new things. U'leschaded imay, and to be sharpened with him. V'lomayd inyan hasvarim eschadeshes, and to learn the new svara that is renewed. Kihi chachma b'fnei atzma. It is a wisdom, it is a discipline by itself. V'ratzolaymar, meaning to say, shenoisnim lo'isachar keneged kulam. It will give the person reward corresponding to all the mitzvahs. Kihu hagoyreim. V'zeh hadavar, this corresponds to the idea of marbe chachma, marbe yeshiva, is keneged masha amar, marbe shefachos, marbe zima. One who increases his maidservants, increases promiscuity. Sheyesh oisen acherim. There are things that others do, v'royin ki'iluhu asai, and we consider it as if he did it, lahara u'lahetiv, meaning, just like the stealing of your avadim, and the promiscuity of your shvachos, and the kishuf of your women, we will attribute to you because you house them. So too, all the learning of your students will be like you learned. This is in contradistinction where the beginning of the Mishnah said, Marbe noshe, marbe kshafim, marbe shvachos, marbe zima, marbe avadim, marbe gazel, and all the bad deeds of all your employees will be attributed to you because you house them. All the learning of all your students is attributed to you because you're the goyreim. Let's read the end of the Mishnah. Marbe Torah, marbe chayim. One who increases in Torah increases life. Marbe yeshiva, one who increases in his yeshiva, in learning. Marbe chachma increases wisdom, or as Rabbeinu Yona's gersa is marbe chachma, marbe yeshiva. Marbe itza, marbe tevuna. The more advice you take, the more wisdom you'll have. Marbe tzedakah, the more charity you give. Marbe shalom, the more peace there'll be. Kana shem toiv, if you acquire a good name, kana la'atzmai, it's yours. It's an amazing thing. Someone who has a good name, it only affects them. Money, the children get some. Reputation is only that for that person. Kana loy divrei Torah, if someone acquires divrei Torah, kana loy chayei ha'olam haba, acquires the world to come. Rabbeinu Yona finishes off marbe tzedakah, marbe shalom. Hanoisin tzedakah, by giving tzedakah, yidei shenena mimamaynai ayavim oisai, because you're mahana people from your money, they love you. Umarbe shalom ba'olam, and they increase peace in the world. V'gam ki noisin eitza la'achirim lasis tzedakah, and when you advise others to give tzedakah, nechshav elav ki'iluhu asa, it's like you did it yourself. Uvnei adam oyavim oisai gam al zeh, people will love you because you advised others to give tzedakah. This corresponds to v'zek keneged masha amar, marba avadim, marba gazel. The more avadim you have, the more robbery. So the robbery is attributed to you, ki mibnei masa acherim, because of the actions of your avadim. Soinim oisai gzelas avadim, they will hate you because of the gzel of your avadim. Umarbe tzedakah, and if you increase charity, shegoyim gam la'acherim litna, you cause others to give. Tirba ahavasai mabriyos, you increase your love with people. Kana shem tov, kana la'atzmai, ki hashem tov la'atzmaihu. A good name is for you yourself. Lo yani chenu lachem, you will not leave it for others. Hepech min hamarbe nechasim, as opposed to someone who increases their assets. Ki b'moisai ya'azvem, when you die, you forsake them. V'yelech b'loy chemda reika mehem, and you will go without any benefit, empty from them. Kana loy divrei Torah, one who acquires words of Torah. Kana loy chayei ha'olam haba, acquires the world to come. Rabbi Isai, have a wonderful Shabbos. Thanks for joining today, and wish everybody bracha v'atzlacha. Chodesh Tov.
You've just experienced another Torah class brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.